April 18, 2016, Midlothian, Texas. It was before dawn when fitness instructor Missy Bevers arrived at a church to set up for her boot camp class. 20 minutes later, she was found brutally murdered. But what the cameras captured would unlock a mystery so bizarre, it remains unsolved to this day. At 3:50 a.m., surveillance cameras captured a person walking the halls of Creekside Church. They were dressed in what appeared to be SWAT gear. The person methodically opened doors, strolled casually, and even mimicked breaking into rooms, almost like they were rehearsing. But the most chilling detail? The walk. The unknown figure had a distinctive limp. Missy arrived around 4:18 a.m. Her students came in just before 5 to find her lifeless body. The fact that the attacker entered the church nearly 30 minutes before the murder makes one thing chillingly clear. This wasn't random. It was planned. Police questioned Missy's husband, family, students. Rumors swirled. Was this a personal vendetta? A jealous rival? An obsessed follower? Yet no clear motive emerged. The figure was so mysterious, so strangely deliberate in their movements, that police couldn't even determine their identity. In fact, based on the unusual walk and build, some investigators believed it might have been a woman. Digital forensics, tip lines, even walk analysis couldn't crack the case. The killer left no blood, no fingerprints. Just a haunting image burned into every viewer's mind. A shadowy figure in police gear, walking calmly in the place where they would end a life. Years later, the identity of that person in the footage remains a mystery, and Missy's killer walks free. February 10th, 1990, in Las Cruces, New Mexico. It was supposed to be a normal morning, but inside a quiet bowling alley, horror was about to unfold. 7 people, including kids, were shot execution style. 3 survived. 4 didn't, and to this day, no one knows who did it or why. Just after 8 a.m., 2 masked men slipped through an unlocked door and forced their way into the manager's office. Inside were Stephanie Senac and her 12-year-old daughter Melissa Rapace, along with 13-year-old Amy Hauser, all preparing for the day's opening. In the kitchen, cook Ida Holgan was unaware of the danger until she too was herded into that same office. The gunmen ordered everyone to lie face down. They demanded cash, then shot each person execution style, even firing on a 6-year-old girl brought in moments later by her father, Steve Tarrin, who had walked in with his 2 young daughters. Amy Hauser, Paula Holgan, Stephen Tarrin, and Valerie Tarrin died instantly. The others were critically wounded. Miraculously, Melissa Rapace, despite being shot 5 times, crawled to a phone and dialed 911, alerting police and saving her mother Stephanie Senac and Ida Holgan's lives. Stephanie Senac survived the initial attack, but succumbed to complications in 1999. Composite sketches were released, but no matches ever emerged. By the time help arrived, the killers were long gone into the desert, their identities still a mystery, and still free. On April 1st, 2006, medical student Brian Schaffer walked into a bar in Columbus, Ohio, and was never seen again. At around 1:15 a.m., surveillance footage showed Brian talking to 2 women outside the bar. Then he turned and walked back inside. This footage is the last ever sighting of Brian Schaffer. It was the start of spring break. Brian, a 27-year-old student at Ohio State University, decided to kick it off with a night out with friends. They decided to go to the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a bar near campus. He was grieving. The recent passing of his mother had hit him hard. But friends said he seemed upbeat that night. The cameras at the entrance were positioned to catch everyone who entered or exited. Brian was never seen leaving. No back exit, no evidence of a break-in, no trace. The bar was on the second floor, with only a broken service door and a construction zone in the back. Not safe, and not likely for a casual exit. His phone, credit cards, and bank account were never touched again. Police pored over hours of surveillance. Nothing. It was as if Brian had vanished into thin air. Some theorized he staged his own disappearance. Others feared foul play. But how does someone just disappear from a bar with only one way out? Nearly 2 decades later, there are still no answers. Just a grainy video, a grieving family, and a mystery that defies logic. March 18, 2009, York, England. Claudia Lawrence, a 35-year-old university chef, finished her shift and walked home as usual. That evening, she spoke to her parents on the phone. Everything seemed normal. By morning, she was gone, vanishing without a trace. She was a chef at the University of York, known for being punctual, reliable, and close with her family. The night before, she'd texted a friend, spoken with her mother, and was last seen walking home from her shift around 3 p.m. The next morning, she never showed up for work. Her phone stopped responding just after midnight. Her car was still parked outside her small home. Inside, nothing was missing. Her handbag, passport, and money were untouched. No signs of a break-in. No struggle. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. CCTV from nearby streets picked up a suspicious man walking near her house that night. But he was never identified. Investigators soon turned their attention to Claudia's private life. She had several secret relationships, including with married men, some of whom had reasons to keep things hidden. Police believed someone she knew had lured her out, or worse, entered the home before she even realized. Over the years, 9 people were arrested, some closely tied to Claudia's social circle, but none were ever charged. In 2021, a tip led police to search a nearby fishing lake, draining parts of it. But once again, the search came up empty. No witnesses, no confirmed sightings, and no body. Over a decade later, Claudia Lawrence's disappearance remains one of the UK's most baffling unsolved mysteries. August 20th, 1966, Vintam Hill, Brazil. A boy flying a kite stumbles upon a chilling scene. 2 dead men lying side by side, dressed in formal suits and waterproof raincoats, with strange homemade lead masks covering their eyes. No blood, no wounds, just 2 corpses, and a mystery that has baffled investigators for nearly 60 years. The victims were Manuel Pereira de Cruz and Miguel Jose Viana, 2 electronic technicians from a nearby town. They had left home 3 days earlier, claiming they were going to buy work supplies. But instead of tools, they bought waterproof jackets, a bottle of water, and those eerie lead masks. The last time anyone saw them alive, they were in a bar. Miguel reportedly looked nervous, constantly checking the time. Hours later, they were dead on the hillside. No signs of trauma, no weapons, no struggle. Beside them, a cryptic note. 4:30, be at the specified location. 6:30, ingest capsules. After the effect, protect metals, await signal, mask. No capsules were ever found. Toxicology was inconclusive, and the masks, possibly meant to shield them from radiation or a blinding light, only deepened the mystery. Police found books on spiritualism and scientific mysticism in their homes. Some believed they were trying to contact higher beings. Others thought they were victims of a bizarre cult or even a deadly hoax. But the case remains unsolved. 2 men climbed a hill seeking answers from beyond and died without leaving any.